In a world of perilous monsters, the city walls may be your only safe haven. But even the quaintest village can be rife with adventure, and our City Builder system will help you find it. I'm Nate, and we're going to show you how to get started with cities. Cities Untold, our latest Kickstarter project, is going to revolutionize the sorts of urban encounters that you can create on your game table. However, this isn't our first foray into the city. Everything we're designing actually builds on the foundation of our existing City Builder system, so all the sets, old and new, will work together. Today, we're going to show you how to build with our original cities and how to decide which sets are right for your game's needs. Let's take a look. Currently, our building pieces come in two styles. We have Tudor and Fieldstone. And while they're cosmetically different, they build with the exact same pieces. Each set consists of a variety of walls, quarter posts, floors, and roofs. Like all of our sets, these pieces are modular, so the corner posts can slot into any floor, and then you can slide in walls as you see fit. When it's all assembled, roof sits cleanly on top. We also have a variety of style walls, so you can swap in modular LEDs. Our LED walls even feature modular LED sockets, so you can swap out your LED elements to change the lighting in your scene. Magnetic walls just let you attach different accessories. And even ruined walls, so you can add battle damage, create war-torn settlements, or destructible environments, which are often used in wargaming. We have floors with stair holes in them, so you can do multi-level builds as simple as stacking one floor on top of the other. And finally, our roofs also take magnetic accessories, so you can add chimneys or even a perch for your assassin or monk. So we have a ton of city sets, and each one has a different purpose. We highly recommend starting with our core sets that can be found in the core set category on our web store. These packs give you all the basic pieces you need for a variety of building. We restock these core sets much more often than the more specific expansion and accessory packs. If you see one that's sold out, be sure to hit email me when available on the listing. And you can always check the restock tab on our main menu to see if it's coming up. Now, let's take a look at our core set lineup. Our smallest core set is the Cottage. It gives you just enough pieces to make a self-contained, single-story 4x4 house that's perfect for scatter building. Dropping one of these cottages into any build creates an immediate point of interest or narrative driver. If you're mainly focused on building interiors, we recommend the starter sets, available in both Tudor and Fieldstone. These sets contain walls, floors, corner posts, and a few accessories. They let you build a two-story cottage like this, or you can reconfigure them into L-shaped rooms like these. Our City Tudor core and our City Fieldstone core are our most well-rounded core sets. They each contain a variety of walls, floors, corner posts, roofs, and accessories that allow you to build a variety of interiors and exteriors. You can use them to create 3 standalone buildings like we have here, or you can combine all the pieces together and stack them to create one large building with different footprints. Any which way, these core sets are wonderfully versatile and let you do a bunch of different layouts. Finally, if you're looking to add more coverage and versatility to any of your core sets, we offer the Hamlet, our City Mega Pack. This set provides a huge mix of both Tudor building pieces and Fieldstone building pieces with a ton of accessories, including window dressings and LED torch stands, and even has a couple of minis. You can use this set alone as an entry point and build something like this, or you can combine that same Hamlet with a few other sets to build something that looks a little more complete. In this case, we've added one terracotta roof pack to turn this Tudor side into an inn and small cottage, and added one crenellation roof pack to the Fieldstone side to make a fortified barracks or a municipal jail. Adding packs like these that provide roof coverage and more door walls will give you the maximum versatility out of the Hamlet. Cities are a unique biome in that they function as both interiors and exteriors. You can have a build that does both, but generally you're going to be focused on one or the other. So first, let's look at how to approach building interiors. Interior builds are mostly defined by their dressing. A tavern has different accessories than a blacksmith shop, which has different accessories than a hag's hut, etc., etc. You also don't need to worry about roofs unless you're using them to cover the build until it's revealed to your players. Here, we're using 2 Tudor starter sets for good coverage without any roofs. We've added one of our tavern accessory packs to build out a classic fantasy tavern where any adventure could begin. But if we swap out these accessories for some different dressing, we've taken those same 2 sets in the same basic layout, we've removed the tavern accessories pack, and we've brought in a sinister workshop pack. So if you were going to actually run this to the table, you would probably do something like this. You would fly out this floor on a terrain tray and start with just this cottage. So this is the ground floor. Maybe the players chase a villain in here. They think they're a necromancer or something, and he's gone. Where could he be? Of course, there's a trapdoor in the floor. When they open that up, then you would fly in your basement level build like this, and they could descend down the stairs into the subterranean layer. This illustrates how you can take the same basic layout, same sets, completely change the look and feel by swapping out the dressing and accessories. Now, if you're building exteriors, the character of your buildings will change dramatically based on what kind of environment you place them in. For example, a cottage in the woods feels very different from that exact same cottage placed on a city street. On top of that, there's 2 different ways to put your buildings in those environments. You can either build in line with our sculpted terrain, or place your buildings scatter style on top of terrain trays or battle boards. Let's take a look at this scatter style approach first. So here, we've taken a City Tudor core set and a Fieldstone cottage set and placed them out on a pair of our packed earth terrain trays. Then we took a mountain rock scatter pack to finish off the scene. What's fun about scatter building is you're free to just move the bits around however you like, really quickly and easily. So if you want to make this more of like a little center of the village and knock this guy off the side, you can quickly change it or even do a random encounter on the fly. So here, we've combined those same 2 core sets into one large building. We've scatter built this a little angle on top of a pair of our forest clearing terrain trays, and then added some Dread Hollow dressing around to make it feel like it's in a forest. So now those same core sets have a completely different feel. It's one little lodge out in the woods somewhere, great place for a little encounter. Finally, we can add some ruins in the mix for a completely different feel. We've taken one City Fieldstone ruin set and one City Tudor ruin set and combined them with those same core sets. Then we've built them out on 4 of our Aranthor Mountain terrain trays to make a 2x2 build that's perfect for an RPG encounter or a skirmish game. And while these ruin sets are completely standalone, they really shine when you can combine them with any of our core sets. When you mix and match the ruined pieces and the intact pieces, it gives you maximum building versatility and visual variety, and lets you make a whole range of ruined setups, something like this. Now, let's talk about building in line with our sculpted terrain. This option takes more pieces and more time to set up, but it pays off with an extra immersive scene where the buildings really feel like they're part of the environment. It looks particularly striking with our sculpted streets, but also works really well with our wilderness floors or any terrain. Let's take a look. So here we've taken a Fieldstone City core set, 1 Tudor cottage, and added 1 alleys pack. Built everything in line so the alleys are right up against the sides of the buildings to make it a real dense sort of urban feel. Then to give it some character, we've taken a pair of our river mouth terrain trays with the water overlays and 1 dock pack, and now it's the seaside, it's the dockside area. And if we want to give this a little more life, we could also throw in 1 bayou barge, but it becomes a really nice 2-foot by 2.5-foot area for some interesting dynamic combat. And building in line like this, everything is tightly on a grid. All the buildings are in line with the streets on the grid and have this sort of built into the ground feel. I highly recommend starting with the alleys. If you're looking at the streets, These alleys are easier to start with than our full-fledged streets. They're 4 inches wide and make some really nice tight areas, easy to wrap them around buildings, and they look fantastic. It looks like a real city. Now we're going to take these same 2 core sets and we're going to change what they're built in line with and see what that looks like. So this is an example of an inline wilderness build. We've taken 1 light forest pack, 1 small forest floors, put on a conifer tree toppers pack, and some dread hollow dressing. We've built all of that inline around that same collection of core sets. So it's 1 fieldstone city core and 1 Tudor cottage. Everything is inline around it, so it feels like it's really sunk into the ground. So you can do a lot with changing the environment around your core sets to make them feel completely different. This also is similar to the forest scatter build we did before. However, it takes a little bit longer to build and take some more pieces, but the results are much more immersive and it feels more real. Nothing beats this sculpted ground. And finally, to give you a sense of what a really large inline build could look like, we've taken 2 cottage sets, 2 city core sets, and 2 hamlets. Then we cover them with 1 terracotta roof pack and 1 terracotta full roof pack. We added an imperial streets to pave this whole thing, and then topped it off with 1 Wicked City accessories pack to give a little bit of dressing in there. So this is a 2.5 by 3.5 foot build. Be perfect for a large RPG encounter. You could do a skirmish game on here, but it gives you a sense of a big sort of dense urban build using our streets. We have a showcase that shows you how the streets, 2 4x4s, give you an 8-inch wide street, which gives you tons of space for combat. You can run a really dynamic encounter here, doing combat up on the roofs and the balconies and the like, down the streets, inside the buildings, however you want. We also showcase that you can do a hybrid approach. So most of the buildings here are built in line with the streets. This one is built scatter style on top of the sculpted sidewalks. This lets it be cocked a little askew, make the thing a little more organic, have a little more visual variety. So you can build some of your buildings on top, some in line to give you a more organic city feel, and the whole thing feels really cohesive. So this is an example of what you could do if you had a full imperial streets. Obviously, you don't have to use all the streets at once. You could use all these pieces for a variety of smaller builds and the like. There's sort of endless possibilities with this array of pieces. And one last cool feature of cities, they have a ton of cross-compatibility with our castles line, especially the fieldstone buildings. Just adding a few castles packs to your city drastically expands your building options and can transform your skyline. Let's look at a few examples. So here, we've taken a fieldstone city core, built it together as 1 building, and added 1 fieldstone balcony pack to give it kind of a fortified look. But if we want to take it 1 step further, we can remove the roofs and bring in some of the crenellations from the rooftop crenellation pack. And now this is a full-on watchtower, a little miniature keep, or fortified barracks type area. So just changing out some of the roofs for crenellations already makes it feel a lot more like a castle. Now let's take it 1 step further. So here we've taken that same building we just built, moved 1 of the balconies over to the side, and put it up against a postern gate and basic walls from our constructed castle line. Then we put the Tudor city core out front and built the whole thing on 4 of our soggy bog terrain trays. This makes it a 2x2 build that fully feels like there is a castle here, it's a keep, it's a gatehouse, it's the outer walls, and a little village outside. So we've transformed these city pieces fully into a castle by integrating it with some castle pieces. If you like this, we have a whole video of cities and castle compatibility that's linked in the description below. And if you want to see more about our castles, check out our constructed castle line. And that's everything you need to know to start exploring the city. All the relevant links are in the description below. If you still have questions, hop on our forums or Discord, where we have a passionate community who loves helping new folks. We'd love to hear in the comments what sort of city encounter you'd build. Thanks so much for watching, and now it's back to the anvil.